Hello, this is going to be another video where we will reverse engineer a Crackme application, and today I would like to attempt to do it in a different language. Last time I reverse engineered a Java Crackme. This time let's have a look at which languages we can choose from. I would like to avoid anything that compiles to machine code, and there is only Java available here. Is there a Python Crackme? I'm recently quite interested in Python, so I would like to see if there's something available there. Python Crackme, that would be interesting because it's clear text code. So this one has a difficulty of 1.4, so allegedly it's harder than the last one. It says Python Crackme, but the language here is set to Visual Basic, but maybe it's still a Python program. Let's have a look at what's inside. Cracktool.exe. This is a Windows executable. No, that's not what we want. That's... yeah. Let's pick one from those search results here. I coded an easy Crackme challenge in Python for beginners. You should have at least basic understanding of reverse engineering. Being able to solve this challenge, you ought to put the valid key to be accessed. Bin file is given to take a look and analyze. Try to understand what happens. Okay, this is Python, but how is it compiled? That's weird. As an exe file, this can of course not be run in Linux without any tools. I've created some Python Crackmes. Some Crackmes, or shall I call them obfuscated Python code in the beginner level, may seem complicated, but they aren't. Use a bit of your time and figure it out. They aren't that hard, trust me. That looks good. I'm a reverse engineering beginner. I'm a noob. I can't do anything in the realm of reverse engineering, so that's what we need. So, can we do this full screen? Yes. Let's just do the following. I will go to projects, and I will git clone the repository that from the clipboard here. Git clone. Come on, what is it? Why doesn't it work? Git clone. I never get how copy pasting in Linux works, but okay. So we have Python Crackmes. Download it and let's open them in Vim. Go to projects, Python Crackmes, and let's have a look at the README, and that's the one we already saw on GitHub. And let's see what it says. Most of them require user input to check the key, so you could run the program. Yeah, of course. Some people ask me if they could edit the code. You are allowed to edit the code in Foe. What is that? In order to deobfuscate, but you are not allowed to execute the program itself. Basically, you can do everything you want with the program except executing. Okay, but I need to execute it. He means the, or she means the decompile, the modified code. Anyways, let's just have a look at the Crackme. Let's go to the first folder, and there's a script, Python. Do I have Python installed? Yes. 1.py. Syntax error. Is this maybe just a Python script? Why doesn't it execute? The file fails in line 2 with the message, okay, this is the flag, and some string. You got the key, try again later, Josh. Invalid syntax. Is this a known error? That would be interesting. Let's see, maybe someone already raised it on the issues page. No. Unfortunately, the Python version is not specified. Let's install Python 3.10. Maybe it works with that. No. Syntax error, invalid syntax. Why? I guess we have to take a look at the script. Let's... I like how this turns from a reverse engineering session to a debugging session. What's wrong with the syntax? Am I stupid? Am I supposed to execute something different? There are multiple 1.py files. Let's check the one in the forware directory. Whatever forware means. That looks like a different file, but okay. Python 3, 1.py. Okay, that seems to work. Enter iterations. 1. What's that? What's the point of that? the entire thing one Crackme and they are all linked together? No. Ah, what's that? So many semicolons. I think I have the impression that they are linked together somehow. Okay, in the third folder, I can enter a correct password. Let's just type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it says, try again next time, Josh. Maybe that is the Crackme. The string try again next time, Josh. Let's go to the projects and Python Crackme's directory in Vim and Vim grep for Josh. Yeah, and that string is coming from the first file that is not being compiled. Aha, this is interesting. So I can't execute this file on itself by its own. It's giving me a syntax error. But the third file seems to somehow invoke this. No, that's wrong. There's also the string Josh in the third file. So forgot what I just said. Let's just try to reverse engineer this one. So we can see the code in the Vim terminal. I will increase the font size a bit for you, like this. And let's try to figure out what is expected. It's just one password, so it does not depend on the input, I guess. So there's not a name, and the name calculates the expected password. There's just a password, so there must be one string inside that. Yeah, there must be just one password possible. I think a first step would be to format the Python code. Let me have a look at how, or maybe let's try to do it ourselves. I will go to the beginning of the file, then I will find the first semicolon, and after the first semicolon, I will do a line break. Then I will search, repeat the search. And let's do it like this. Repeat the search, line break. Repeat the search, line break. Repeat the search, line break. Repeat, line break. Repeat, line break. Etc. Okay, so that seems to be the code. And can we add some more formatting here? The first string is obviously not meaningful. It's just the key pass string. Then I think we can figure that one out. Then XYZ is the imported library. XZY is the standard out, and ZXY is right. Then let's have a look at what the first command does. Lambda s, this lambda function. XY is a lambda function, and for a given input, I guess, I'm not too familiar with Python, but I guess this is the input, yes. The given input is, well, passed into the ZXY function, and that is, ZXY is right. So XY is a lambda to right. XY is writing the first string here, the keypass string. Okay. Then the input is requested. Enter correct password, followed by 100 empty. No, nothing. Okay, that's basically nothing, the 100. I'm talking about this 100 here. Then the next interesting line is b map lambda k. Okay, so we have another lambda function that expects a parameter k. And k, what is ord? Python ord. The ord function returns the number representing the Unicode code of a specified character. I think it's ordinal or something like that. Okay, so what is this function doing? It maps what is the map function? Python map function. The map function executes a specified function for each item in an iterable. So it executes the lambda function for each item in B, and B is the input is the password we provided here. That means the password is converted to the ordinals, which are numbers representing the Unicode. So it's the character value. Then from B, does this create a list? Or is B already a list? Python list function. The list function creates a list object. A list object is a collection which is ordered and changeable. Okay, let's just assume this is a list of Unicode characters. Then E is A plus D. What is A? A is this string here, and D is the list. So this value I think this adds this value to the list. This notation is a list notation, and another list is added to that list. LG is equal to E plus D. L and G. L gets assigned the value E plus D. G gets the value assigned D. Let's do a small Python experiment here. Python. 3. Okay. Okay. We have two variables, LG, and we assign them 1 and 2. Let's print L is 1 and G is 2. Okay, so that understanding was correct. What if we have a list A that is the list, let's be more close to the code. E is a list 1, 2, 3. And let's do the following. E 4 plus E. Yeah, okay, so this is simple list appending. So E plus D would be another list plus the same list again for whatever reason. This is like saying E plus E. I'm thinking what this line does here. If the 9 join string for T and G for every T and G, but what is G? Okay, yeah, that's the second assignment here. G is D, and D is the list. Yeah, we can completely ignore E, I think, because E is never used again, if I'm not mistaken. So we will do the following. The code is doing the following. For every T in G, so that is every entry in the list, G is D, and D is the list of B, and B is the mapped integers from our input. So whenever it does the following. It converts all the integers to a string and splits them and adds a 9 join whatever. Wait, let's test this. 9. I don't want to execute the exact same code because that's not legal, but let's do the following. Join 1, 2, 3. This is not valid. Of course. These need to be strings as well. This joins a 9 before every element. And splits again at the 9s. So okay, so the input is converted to numbers and a list of numbers, and the list of numbers is split at each number. Here it joins each number with a 9 and then splits with a 9 again. And the input needs to equal, and maybe this is the heart of everything, a dot split string add. What is this number? 20 plus 5 plus 4 is 29. Wait, this is the string 29. The first element, not the zeroth, is 9. And A is split at 9. What is A? And that is A. So our input must be this string without the 9s, I would say. Let's try this. Maybe I'm wrong. 7, 1. No, but if I would like to be a bit more certain here. Our input is split, or at least it is mapped to the ordinals. Let's have a look at the ord function with a bit more detail. Returns the integer that represents the character h. That's it already. So if I execute ord, come on. tmux is slow today, or my virtual machine is somehow slow today. Ord h. Yeah, that is the Unicode value of that character. So it is the characters are mapped to those values. And then split at 9. This only works if I don't input any 9, but probably the 9 is not in that in a range. So I provide an input. The input is mapped to the character values. Let's see what the value of 1 is, because I suspect that the password is going to be consisting of numbers. So we will get values from 49 to 57. Does the map function act on every character individually? Oh, I think I need to somehow give it more computing power here. Is this possible? Or do I have to do it later? I will do that later. Anyways. Python map function. Map lambda k I will just trust the process, or trust myself to have figured it out well enough and just give it a try. My suspicion is that this string is delimited by it's going to be no. The password is going to be this string minus the 9s. No! We have to map these, the characters between the 9s to the to letters. So, how do we do it? Is there a clever way to do that? Unicode characters. I have a good feeling now. I'm quite positive this is going to work. So the decimal values are depicted here. So 71. What is 71? There is no 71. Maybe it's not Unicode. Python ord. A Unicode character into its integer representation. I think this list is not complete. These are just control codes, and we of course need the oh man, there are so many possible errors you can do, and that's a fundamental law of computer coding. Whatever you do, it's probably wrong. Yeah, these are the correct codes. I was just not paying attention. So the first number is 71. That's a Latin capital letter G. So let's put a G. Then 40. Is there a faster way to do this? Let's just copy this and do a map lambda k and just reverse what we learned. Python Unicode to string. The character function does exactly the opposite of the ord function. So we would use the character function applied to k and input this string and split it at 9. Now, for everybody, just to make sure, and just so nobody complains, I'm not executing the Python script. I have understood, or we have understood together, that the expected password is related to this string. We remove the nines and we convert the integers between the nines to their original Unicode characters. So we already know the solution. We are just finding a shortcut to generate it from the string instead of going back and forth to Wikipedia and looking up the characters manually. So this should now print the solution. I will hit enter and then that's it for the video. Let's go. What's that? Map object. At a memory location. Can't you just do what I want? I wanted to have this string split at 9. Split at 9 and then... I have to convert it to a list as well. And let's do a list. String object cannot be interpreted as an integer. Where do I interpret a string object as an integer? Of course. The character function takes as input individual strings here, because this is a string, it's going to be split, and then the character function expects an integer, not a string. So let's just hack it into the character function. Let's just do it like this. So, good job, key. Can you recognize the password? G0OD, good. J0B, job, dash, K3Y, exclamation mark. That looks very promising. And, oh my god. Good job, dash, K3Y, exclamation mark. If that works, then yes! Let's go. Master key correct. Welcome, Josh, to your KeyPass system. That's it. That's been the Hack Me for today. It was very exciting, especially because I learned, maybe you too, we learned something about Python. I very rarely use Python. I used it in a project once, but I never used any Lambda functions. And yeah, that was very enjoyable right now. Very good learning experience. So if you found this interesting, then please leave a like and subscribe. Next time we will pick another Crackme. Maybe one day we will do some machine code decompilation, but so far I'm happy with these challenges right now, because these force me to understand scripting languages. And last time I did a Java Crackme, which forced me to, decompile Java bytecode. So these are hard enough for me. You see, this took me almost 40 minutes to crack down. So this was very enjoyable. I hope it was enjoyable for you as well. And see you next time. Bye.